All right. It's Wednesday evening. It is another episode of Talking Cloud, and it is episode 50.
Wow.
I need one of those. You see those like confetti things that people have, and they go and they
Need a
pop.
popper. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what they're called? I
think
should have like done something, I guess.
Like a
I don't
banner, maybe
Yeah.
a cake or something.
A cake.
New
Maybe I
podcast due at
could
50.
have. Yeah, I could have got those are they Mylar balloons that you get for people's instead of my birthday? It just says 50 behind me. Right? They've gone all out, man. Yeah. So I was saying before we started episode 50, I looked some stats up. I didn't write them down, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But
All right.
we are now in episode 50. We're in the upper echelons of the length of general podcasts. Like the vast majority of podcasts, I think, stop after 3 episodes.
Yeah, I believe it. I bet this is like top 10% at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be.
Yeah. You know what? Like, listenership too, man. We're right there. Right at the top.
I don't know if I buy that one. But...
No, I wouldn't believe that as far as I could throw it. But I still think I've joked with you, only half joked with you a bunch of times that this thing is kind of like going to the gym, right? You just got to keep doing the reps. So
get the reps. Yeah.
50 in. I was actually kind of shocked.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you, eh?
Yeah,
it
totally does.
This like 3-4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, we had our little break, right? And then over coffee decided to start it again. So yeah, we've been we sort of restarted November maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, October, November, somewhere in there.
Something, right? So anyways, here's to 50 more, as they would say. I am celebrating. I have fancy mocktail drink. There you go.
Oh,
so
lovely.
There we go. Yeah.
I've got some water and hopefully staving off
a cold,
a throat infection here.
Oh God,
some kind of illness is spreading around the house. So
nice. That's great, man. That's great. All right, so let's get into it. I don't know. The only announcement I have for AWS is that it was the summit today in New York, and there were a whole ton of announcements. And I'm going to be pissy for a second. I don't remember anything getting posted about all the announcements that were made at the Toronto summit.
Yeah. What happened with that? Where were the Toronto announcements? AWS.
None, right?
Huh.
I don't think there was a single one. So yeah, they save all the cool stuff for the. I could only imagine the size of that summit. One day I'll go just to see it. All joking aside, the scale's like this compared to like this, probably. So
probably, yeah.
I would suspect, right? But I went through and I made a few notes. There was a nice kind of summary post on the news blog or something like that on the announcements from the summit. So, of course, it's AI. And maybe a little more AI. So the first one is, I think, our new favorite service, AgentCore. There's a whole new kind of, I'm going to call it, I don't want to call it a framework, but that's the only word that comes to mind, like a knowledge framework. So it's got a managed knowledge base now. It's got the ability to essentially go out and get web content to feed it, and also even like paid content you can go and get, and then all feeds into AgentCore so that your agents have more context.
Oh, cool. Does it do so you can do like web searches like with XR or whatever? I wonder what services they're actually using, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing you have to figure out a little bit if you're setting up your own system. So it's nice that they support that.
Again, you know what? Like we say this all the time. This is just typical AWS. They're saying, hey, what are the things, to your point, right? What are the things that people are doing by hand that maybe makes sense to run as a service so that you don't have to do it by hand?
Yeah, totally.
Right.
You'd have to get like an API key to do that normally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you get free credits on Exa, but
sure. Yeah. You know what? I've never been a big believer in lock-in the sense that you just pick your toys up and go somewhere else if you really want to. As I see all this stuff, I'm like, it's like the first time in my IT career, and I've been doing this a long time, where I'm like, could we start getting into the area of you do all this stuff and now it is actually locked in. Like it's harder to move. Like I've never bought the lock-in argument for Lambda and stuff like that. It's just a chunk of code that's running somewhere. So you could pick that chunk of code up and move it in theory. I know it's easy to say, but right, you could move it to a different platform and
you can run Firecracker.
Code. Yeah.
On your own bare metal if you really want to, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I do get for the lock-in is the data lock-in on S3, right? Like you have to pay the egress costs and whatnot. But besides that,
you're right. I didn't think of that. What's the other one? Speaking of context, there is another AWS service. It's in preview mode or coming soon right now. It's called AWS Context.
AWS Context,
and maps all the relationships across your existing data.
This is so funny. It's like everything that we're trying to do with our own systems, all these companies are trying to do as well internally and offer it as a service.
Offer it as a service, right? Yeah, like, I don't know. It must mean we're on the right path.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
Yeah, means maybe we're thinking about it the right way. I don't know. I just wonder, like, at what point is it going to make more economic sense to use a platform versus rolling your own? I don't know.
Yeah. Then I guess that'll change as the capabilities change too. But I mean, just speaking for myself, I've invested so much time over the past 6 months just working on my own harness and brain system and whatnot. Right. And it works great for my personal workloads. I don't know how well it extrapolates to someone else's, But
yeah. I'm the same, right? Like I've spent so much time. I'll use the same argument I always use. It's kind of like an IDE. I've spent so much time making it work for me. Like would I immediately pick up and just say, well, I'm going to move all this to AWS Context, knowing nothing about it really, but just as the sake of an argument, would I do it? You would have a hard time convincing me to do that because I've invested so much time and effort and, just sat there and fine-tuned everything and get it to where it works for me. And I like the IDE analogy. You'd have a hard time changing my mind.
Yeah.
Plus, it allows you to tinker and learn some stuff. If I just offload it all to a service, then I guess it's the audience, isn't it? We're probably not the audience of these. Yeah. What else do we have here? There's a good one. I already mentioned that everything is just agents and AI. There's a really cool one in here, WAF monetization. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, this was really cool.
Yeah.
So this is like for letting agents get through your robot filter, basically, right? Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. And you can even monetize it in the sense that you can integrate it with third-party payment platforms. So you can kind of meter it and set a price. And then I guess if you go over the meter, you have to start paying for it.
Yeah, you'll get blocked, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's go ahead.
I was gonna say that's it. I've seen a couple of big posts on Twitter now of independent developers having their websites get taken down by scrapers, right?
Really?
So it's a real problem.
Yeah.
But if you can charge these companies to hit it, then
Again, I think it's the context, right? Like it's so funny. Yeah. I saw somebody post about this on LinkedIn, and they're not this particular thing, but just this idea of monetization and AI scraping all of your data and stuff. And their argument was if you are like an individual contributor, a technical person, you probably don't want to gate your content, right? Because it might drive some traffic to your website, especially now that most times if you're using an agent, it will provide citations where you can kind of drill down and go to the website and stuff like that. Maybe if you're a big publisher, you would maybe want to gate that content if I can't think of a good example, but so sort of the context around that. And it was so funny. I ran an errand the other day. I had to run to Mississauga, and I was talking to this guy, and he's like, "Well, how'd you find out about us?" And I was like, "Oh, old school, man, Google search." And and he's like, "Oh, that's funny. Somebody showed up here the other day. I asked them the same question, and they found out about this place through Clod."
Oh wow!
So there you go, right?
Yeah.
Probably. If you're a small business owner, you probably do not want to gate your content and make somebody pay for it through a WAF implementation or something. Right?
Probably not.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. So that was neat. We talked about AgentCore already. Oh, the other one was S3 annotations. Did you see that one?
I did see this one. This one was really cool.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's essentially you can apply metadata up to a gig of metadata.
Up
I think
to
it was.
gig
There's a
of
lot of
mutable-
metadata.
Yeah, a gig of metadata, and it supports a bunch of different formats like JSON, and
Yeah.
I can't remember what else it did, but yeah, and you can modify it. It's mutable over, so if you need to change it, you can just make some changes to it.
So now if you need a database with 11 nines of reliability,
Yeah,
you can just write to
know.
S3 objects.
I know, like I know people have joked about like S3 as a database, Route 53 as a database for a long time, right? It's pretty much it's becoming a database.
Yeah, basically.
Right? Yeah, right. I don't know. Oh, and this one made me chuckle. You can now install Kiro on your iOS devices.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I'll get right on that.
yeah, me too. Me too. So essentially, this is like, is it called Clod Dispatch? Right,
Yeah,
where
I think so.
I've mucked around with Cloud Dispatch on my phone. First off, I don't have an Apple device, so whatever. Doesn't apply to me. Now, I tell you, joking aside, if they came out with an Android implementation, I would try it.
Would you use it?
Yeah, I would try it.
Good shot.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, increasingly, Claude is just shoving all of the other agents to the side. As far as how much, like, I'm finding that before I was using a ton of different agents. The exception to this is Pi with a couple of those open weighted models, which we'll talk about a little later on. But as far as those, what do they call them, frontier models? Oh man, I don't know. Claude is
You have two choices.
Claude is sort of just bumping all the other ones out. Now I know with Kiro I could use Claude, but I don't know. I think we've talked about this. Maybe the harness or something. It's not Claude.
It's the harness, and you're going to pay more on Kiro to get access to the same level of performance. And I'm finding the same thing. Like, I'm finding like I'm using Claude more and more. Claude code is not as bad as it used to be. It's still not the ideal harness. Like, Codex still outperforms with GPT 5.5 on a lot of tasks for me. But it's good. It's good. And the brief window I got to use Mythos on it was great.
I was gonna ask you about that as we got into the next session. I didn't even try it once.
Man,
I was sitting here. I know. You mentioned how good it was, and I was sitting here after. I'm like, well, an easy thing I could do is just like I've done with Gemini in the past is, hey, go review this. Here's the URL. Here's the API gateway. Like, go poke at it and just see what you find. Tell me what's good. Tell me what's bad. So I was going to do that. And then, like, I don't know. I probably saw it in Discord or something. And they're like, crap. And everybody was like, shit. And I'm like, what's going on? And I look, oh, okay. Well, that thanks, Fable.
Yep.
We barely knew you.
Barely knew you. 2 days it was up, 3 days.
Yeah, it wasn't long, was it? Right? Which we'll talk about here in a second. So yeah, all joking aside about Kiro and stuff, I still say, was it Simon Willison or somebody we talked about a long time ago? No, it was Steve Yagi. I think he talks.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically like, IDEs are dead. If you're using an IDE, you're not doing this the right way. So I kind of apply. I know that's maybe, a little bit of
it's a little exaggeration, but
clickbaity kind of stuff.
There,
yeah. You know what though? I can see that when I think about Kiro. In all fairness, like, Kiro is a really great editor. I really enjoy using it for like just pulling up markdown files that another agent wrote for me. It's just it's the interface is nice. It's easy to read. Do I ever use that IDE to create things? Nope. But I use the Kiro CLI all the time, man. Just even for the autocomplete. Oh my God. Okay, right. Autocompletes have been around forever, but man, that thing it's like, there's some sorcery that goes on in that thing sometimes. I'm like, how the did you know that's what I wanted? Right. And okay.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Kiro is still really good specifically for AWS workloads, I think. Like, if you're working in an AWS environment, it's quite good. Yeah. I'll say that.
Yeah. Which I have a quasi update for you, which I think builds on last month's, but we'll actually, do you have any other AWS news? Because I think I've just blasted through all the stuff from the summit.
Oh, there was our favorite agents got updates, I think. There's a couple of other things, but
Yeah. Actually, let's back up for a second. I'm confused about the security agent because
okay.
the security agent, if I'm reading the announcements correctly, it says the security
Yep.
agent is now part of something called AWS Continuum, right? And
Oh,
Continuum is in gated preview. So does that
hmm.
mean I can't use the security agent anymore?
That's really interesting. I don't know. So this bundles in the security agent pen testing,
Yeah.
now available as continuum pen testing.
Yeah.
Okay, and code scanning.
Yeah.
So I was going to say this is another news article. There's a brand new security service on the block, and it's continuum.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like this is going to be the pen testing, like the agentic pen testing and
Yeah.
scanning service.
Yeah. And as soon as they say gated preview, we know what that means, right? Like that means you and I aren't getting it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, both the security agent and the DevOps agent, actually, I ran the security agent that one time, way back.
Oh yeah.
I ran it against the Kanban board, right? Because remember we talked
Yep.
about it and we were like, what was it, like $200 for 3 hours or something like that?
Yeah,
I
it's like
can't
50
remember.
bucks an hour.
Yeah, something like that. So I wanted to see how long it would take to scan the Kanban project and see what it could find.
Right.
So I think maybe that was the math. It was $50 an hour, and it took me about 3 and change hours to do the Kanban thing. So I'm wondering, is that no longer available to people because it's rolled into Continuum? I don't know.
I'm curious. I mean, if you're using the security agent, write in
Yeah,
to the show, I guess.
Yeah, there you
I have
go.
no idea. I'll have to check.
Yeah, I should go. You know what? The service would still be enabled in my Kanban account. I should just go over there and
Should be.
click it and see what it says. Tells me to bugger off or not, right? You were not one of the selected few. Go away. Yeah. And did you say our other agent, the DevOps agent, also got an update?
It did. It does release management now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is the update
Okay.
for that.
Speaking of favorite agents, did you also see that there is a FinOps agent now as well?
I did see the FinOps
Yeah.
agent, and that makes total sense to me. That's like the most impenetrable, like one of the most impenetrable parts of AWS is figuring out Cost Explorer for people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody about it today, and we're like, well, the info's here. Yeah, in Cost Explorer, but how the hell do we look at it? And you're kind of like, you got all the drop downs on the right hand side. You're looking for the right thing. And God forbid if it's EC2 other, right? Like, geez, you're just toast.
Good luck.
Yeah, you might as well just turn the account off. You're never going to figure out what that bill's for.
Yeah. This struck me as crazy because there's like a whole cottage industry of SaaS providers that will consume your expense or your AWS reports, your cost reports, cost and usage, and then give you a nice dashboard with all the results on it. But now you can just pull up the agent and ask it questions.
It's on my to-do list as well. Just in my little, account structure. You know how many accounts we've had? I don't know, a couple dozen or whatever for different projects and everything. So I saw it the other day. I didn't see an announcement or anything for it. I went into the billing and cost management dashboard for something, and it had a little bloop there, and I'm like, what the hell is a FinOps agent? And then I had to do something, so I never got back to it, but it's on my to-do list. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's if you don't have anything else, let's go to my favorite segment, the project updates.
Oh yes.
Do you want to kick us off, or you want me to start?
I can kick us off.
Okay.
So, what have I been working on this week? It's the last 5 days for the Kaggle OrbitOps competition, so I'm trying to get an agent above 1,000 for that.
Nice. How close?
1,000 ELO. I'm training one right now. The best I've got is like 750. The top of the line is like 1,700, 1,800.
Oh wow.
So there's some pretty stiff competition. But I'm doing it. I'm kind of using. So what I've done is I've got kind of like a research and testing setup with like 8 different agents going on it.
Yep.
So I've pulled out the various machine learning techniques I want to use for this, like PPO and whatnot, and then I've got like various experiment streams running on the side, and I'm just letting that churn away while I kind of figure out, okay, what do I want to tweak next? But that's kind of the workflow I'm doing for that.
Oh, nice.
What else am I working on? I was messing around with Suno a little bit.
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
I wanted this is going to come up in a bit, but there's been so many models released, and
I know.
the cadence of releases keeps picking up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need like a sound effect for the show that's like new model alert.
Yeah, we knew. We need
So.
a little. What would they call it in Twitch land? An emote, just like boom, boom, boom. Just yeah. I wonder if we can do that. Just because we don't have anything better to do with our time.
Be.
Yeah, it's got. Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
It's got to be a way.
Yeah, very good. How about the card game, man?
Oh shoot, the card game. Yeah, so the card game works. The multiplayer works. I have to give you that link.
Yeah.
I'm still. Yeah, so I'll share you the link like after the show, and then we'll try and see if we can run some games over the week.
Okay.
The game is okay.
Yeah.
it's not a particularly great game.
It's still a cool accomplishment to like, to take that from the idea, the concept, and actually build something like that. That's the thing that we've talked about this before, just how much I've enjoyed about this is just the idea of getting in and being able to do something that you could have figured out yourself, but over time, but to be able to do it in a much more compressed time period and be able to get something that, it works. It does. It's kind of what you were thinking about in your head. It does what you wanted it to do. I think that's really cool. Really cool.
I've wanted to make games like forever, basically. So I just set that challenge. I'm going to have something shippable in a week.
Yep.
It took 2 to get it up with the netcode. I worked on it for like maybe, I don't know, it's got to be under 10 hours. I didn't spend too much time on it consistently.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
That's very cool.
And
that's very cool.
Very
cool.
What's new in Kanban land?
Yeah, you know what? I don't. Is this week 2 in a row that I don't have a direct Kanban update? I sort of have like an adjacent Kanban update. I kind of think with the
feels like it's stable.
It kind of does what I want it to do. And one of the things that I've been trying to really kind of be self-conscious or self-aware is it called YAGNI? I always forget the acronym. Right?
Yeah.
Yet another.
You aren't going to need it.
Yeah, you're never going to use that, right? So just because my brain thinks of it at 2:00 in the morning instead of sleeping doesn't mean that I should add that to the board, right? So at first I was just like, just do this, add this, and then I realized very quickly that I'm never going to use that shit anyway. So it does what I want it to do. I've got that. Remember last week we talked about the synthesizing of the project memories and stuff down into like one sort of, hey, this is the current state of that project. It works, and I can't think of anything else that I really need or want in it right now. So yeah, nothing there. We were joking at the beginning of the episode about the plethora of listeners that we have. And I don't know if we've talked about this on the show or not before, but I have learned a lot about analyzing listeners and downloads of podcast episodes. Dude, there's like a whole science around this that I never knew about, right? So there's this whole standard, I think it's IAB.
Okay.
I think it's something an acronym for something broadcasters, and they have a whole standard on how they decide when that download is actually a download, a listen, whatever it might be, right? And this is a great example of what I was just talking about. I could have figured this out eventually, but Claude and I are kind of working on it together, and I'm like, okay, explain what this means to me. How do I understand when it's a listener and stuff? So I've really been working on. I have a little self-built metrics dashboard for the podcast. And what it does is it tries to classify all the user agents, right? Is it a person? Is it a bot? Is it just a crawler or something? And it uses the standards developed by IAB. And every once in a while, something kind of goes through it. So the other week, it must have been last week. I went in and I was like, oh man, we finally did it. We've been doing this long enough. Look at all those downloads. And I'm like, yeah, that's not right. Like there's no way. So, I do have it set up now. I've been working on, remember I was talking last week about using service accounts in 1Password?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's so slick.
Is it nice? Okay. I gotta set that up.
I've been slowly just plugging away on the different projects, and now I have a vault that has the read-only credentials for the agents, and that's all it is, right? So I've got like a specific project vault that has,
Yeah.
I don't know, the GitLab token that it might need or whatever it needs for the project, and then a separate vault with all the credentials. So when I was working on this, I said to Claude, I'm like, I would love this to be true, but I know it's not. So go look at the cloud front logs and tell me what's going on. And I built a little skill for accessing Git and accessing AWS using the 1Password CLI. So you can see it making the calls, goes over, grabs what it needs, goes over to the CloudFront logs and says, yeah. So somebody ran I think this is your favorite piece of software, right? We were joking a couple weeks ago with the guys, the voice guys, ffmpeg. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And basically just went through the entire catalog and just everything, right? So some sort of scraper or whatever downloading all of our content, I guess, to make AI agents that sound like us. I don't know. Who knows? And it's kind of scary, right? So
it might have been me.
Was it? Okay.
It might have been me.
Okay. That is so funny because that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, it's probably Travers doing something. But it's really weird. Did you run it out of a hosting platform or something?
Oh, maybe it wasn't me. Where did it come from?
Well, see, that's what I did. I dumped the IP into Aaron, you know, that website, aaron.net.
Oh, yeah.
And I figured it was going to say like somewhere local, right? Like Rogers or Bell or something like that. Because it happened like the morning after an episode where I'd posted something new. And I know my brain immediately just thought of you. I'm like, oh, it's Travers running some sort of agent against it to build context or something. Have you?
I have been downloading the episodes.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. But my memory now, I'm going to have to go back. I'll check OpenBrain and see what IP address is. But my memory is it was European based.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But regardless, this is what's really cool about these tools. I'm like, yeah, Claude's like, yeah, I don't think this isn't real. It's a scraper or something. So we've built this whole system now to essentially like it can flag things that it thinks are bots or whatever agents, and just it still shows them, but it doesn't show them as an active listener anymore. It puts them somewhere else. So we worked on that quite a bit. And then the other thing is I've sort of built it's a little janky at this point, and this might be a bit of I'm going to use the acronym incorrectly, YAGNI again, but I did get suckered into a little bit of an agent dashboard, sort of based off of the token maxing idea and everything that we were talking about. I kind of wanted to see not necessarily how many tokens I was burning, but the number of times certain agents are either putting or getting memories from OpenBrain, and whether that was sort of from me chatting to it, or is it one of the autonomous agents that are running on the right? So I've been working on that, but as I was doing it, I was kind of like,
do you need to know this?
Yeah, I don't probably need to know this, but I feel like what's the poker term? I feel like I'm pot committed at this point. So I might just see if I can finish it this week and then go, that's neat, and probably never look at it again. But really spent a lot of time on the podcast stuff because it's kind of interesting to learn about it. And then the 1Pass stuff, so cool. Really, really
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've
got to integrate the 1Pass stuff on my machine, especially even like the fact that you can. So have you got it isolated to only look at 1Pass, or can you block it off from your local AWS profile?
No, in theory, it could still see the local profiles, right? But that actually goes to a topic we're going to chat about in the next section. I started messing around with sandboxes, and I wasn't super happy with sort of as I dug into the Docker sandbox. Like I could just run like Clod sandbox and it pulls it down and it has something built with Clod on it and away you go kind of thing. So I started mucking around with a custom image like that has Clod on it, that has the 1Pass CLI and stuff. But I didn't get far enough because, to your point, like the agent is still running on my laptop and I've got my big SSO profiles file there. So in theory, it could just go, I'm not going to ask one pass. I know that file's over here. I'll just go look at it. So it's not perfect, but as far as I can tell right now, Claude's doing a good job at following its instructions and making API calls or making CLI calls to one pass.
Yeah, I'm less worried about it than maybe perhaps I don't know if I should be or not, right? But like it seems like they're pretty aligned at this point. Yeah. Like I'm always gonna go and specify which profile I want to use when I'm running this thing. Like this is the profile I want you to hit. It's gonna be a read-only profile.
Yeah.
At least on my personal machine, I don't even think about it that much.
Yeah.
But it would make sense to have like a container you can spin up and run, and then pipe in all of those essentials and whatnot, or even run that on like a VM or something would be the dream probably.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of using this as an excuse to try to figure out, too many windows, try and figure out those Docker sandboxes, just because we seem to talk about it like every other week. And it keeps being just one of those things on my to-do list. And then last week when we talked about, Clod, basically, Anthropic, basically always using these micro VMs and stuff, I'm like, shit, man, I should just figure this out. So, I don't know, maybe next week. Depends how much time I spend on my agent activity dashboard.
Whether it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice part is you can throw that stuff away now, right? Like you don't care so much about it.
Yeah.
You just and you could always do that, right? But like it felt a little worse when you spent a lot more time writing out the actual text. But,
yeah. Oh, I have one other thing. I'm really bad at staying like connected to. I'm not a good networking person, right? Like,
okay.
And I mean like person networking, not networking. So I'm building this
networking.
Yes, networking. Yeah. I'm building this little system. For now, I'm just calling it the nudge. So I can put people in the system that are important to me and that I want to stay, hey, let's go for a coffee. Let's go grab lunch, those kinds of things, just those kind of loose connections. And I spent a couple hours on the weekend, and then I got distracted with some video games and went down a different path. But maybe I'll have an update for that next week. Just a not a CRM. It's not meant to track like, deals or anything like that. It's just kind of like, hey, I haven't talked to Travers in a while. You should do that kind of thing. Cause I'm not good at doing that. I kind of get distracted and forget about it and stuff. So I thought it might be a kind of a neat little way. I'm going to use a term that Claude over time uses with me now all the time: exercise. It's a good, it's a good exercising activity. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. But so that might be kind of neat.
It's really funny, but I was building this exact same feature.
That is so weird.
It's so bizarre because I took my 2E that I'm building, my harness for doing all this stuff, like connecting into my brain, and then I started implementing a graph database of connections and whatnot because I wanted to be able to consume emails at some point. Yeah. I'm kind of drifting towards the fact that I will potentially include that kind of communication into this thing, or at least pass messages that I'm piping in from Discord or whatnot. But I ended up building that exact feature.
So weird, man. And I swear we don't talk about this stuff before the show.
We don't.
No.
Not at all,
If we start showing up on the show like in the same shirts and shit, we're going to have a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Something something deeper is going on.
You know what this means to me? This means these are universal problems. These are things that everybody's always thinking about, and you either couldn't find the right SaaS solution, you found a solution, but you didn't want to pay for it, or it was just kind of one of those things that was like, always like, I should look up if I could do that, right? If there's a service or whatever. But now you can just build this stuff yourself.
Yeah.
It's personal software. I'm not going to sell it, right? If it's down, it doesn't mean anything. There's not going to be an angry customer calling me. I'll be angry because I'll be like, well, how do I know if I need to go have coffee with Travers or not, right? But who cares? It's just for me. This idea of personalized software, I think it's awesome. It's so neat that we keep thinking about the same shit.
It's really funny. Yeah. It's kind of uncanny. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's a little odd. And the other thing, just before we move on, is I am like constantly thinking about that Y Combinator light cone thing now too. If you didn't
yeah.
check that out, you should check a few of them out. Like, I'm now trying to figure out how to record all the things. Like, everything should go into OpenBrain, right? And I've got another little to-do item sitting in GitLab about redaction. So like, I don't necessarily, I want to make sure no secrets end up in there. I want to make sure that, you know, similar to how like I want to make sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be there. And 12-digit account IDs are kind of treated like a Visa in the sense that you see the last 4 digits and that's it kind of thing. So I've actually got some of those agents running now too. They look at it all the time and they're like, wait, they flag it and do some stuff. But I'm just kind of thinking, you mentioned email, like, okay, so how do I record all the emails? But only from specific domains. You know,
you don't want to record everything, obviously.
No, shit, I get so much spam. Like, I don't need to know. I don't need to record the, 100th email I got about how to build my pipeline. Like, thanks. Right. So I'm kind of thinking about that too. So many ideas, man. I could like just stop sleeping.
You could set up an inbox for the thing and then set up forwarding rules. That's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah, could be a good way. Yeah, I might just YOLO it and give it access to my inbox. See what happens.
Oh my.
Yeah, good times. All right, on that scary note, let's change gears and talk about our Gen AI stuff, or I guess we just call it AI now. We already mentioned Fable 5.
Yep.
Good. It was a fun 3 days.
It was good. It was a fun 3 days.
It lasted.
It was definitely the best coding model I've used. So
yeah. I've heard that from a few other people too.
Yeah. You know what though? It was pretty slow for what it was, I will say.
Yeah.
But it did have the ability to just turn away and do stuff. So I don't know. It's not available anymore. So the other stuff still works.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah, the other stuff still works, which we'll get to some other stuff in a second. I thought it was interesting that the idea of that, they had a jailbreak and therefore it's unsafe. And, I think that sets a lot of precedent because sort of like, I don't know if Anthropic said this directly, but sort of indirectly saying, hey, this was minor. This kind of thing exists in other models. Why are we the only one that's getting this order, right? So I think that
did you see what the jailbreak was?
No, I didn't. What was it?
It was essentially they asked the model to go fix a bug or find bugs in the software, and then don't fix. Like, it was essentially the same use case you would do if you were a security researcher, like trying to find and fix bugs in the code. So it got flagged. It's probably more like there's some sort of political thing going on between Anthropic and the U.S. government, is what it seems like.
I think so, yeah. I just think what they're doing here is setting precedent. So now it's kind of like, well, you yanked this model because of a jailbreak. Well, this model, I can prove to you it does the same thing. So what are you going to do about that one? Yeah, I don't know. Slippery slope, I think.
Now if you're a country, you have to kind of think about, like, okay, if I could just lose access to the best AI tool at any given time, right? Like the state of the art could just go away. So like, I guess you have to start thinking about hosting or cutting deals or whatnot. But interesting times.
Yeah, I guess that means that we're going to have our own data centers where Anthropic runs in specific countries. Or other models, I guess that's the logic,
right? That's the thing. I guess you would. Okay, well, it costs so much to set up one of these foundation labs. Mind you, you can distill from these agents, like the Chinese labs have shown that, right? So
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do I have next on my? Oh, this is a really cool one from Charity Majors. It's a beast of an article, and the idea here is that AI. The title of the article is AI is demanding more discipline around engineering, not less. I know I shared this one late. Did you have a chance to chew through that one or not? Does it ring a bell?
I didn't have the chance to read it, but I do have thoughts based entirely on the title.
Okay. Well, let me give you what I interpreted this article to be. And I'm probably taking some liberties here, but I kind of boiled it down into code is really just, I'm going to use the word disposable now, right? Because it can be generated so quickly. It's if it's stale, if you just decide you don't like it anymore, you just move on to something else. And the real asset is things like the specs that you developed as the team or as the person that we're driving the code generation, the test suites that you created, the observability that you've put into the system to be able to understand how it's working. These are the things that are really important now, not necessarily the code anymore, because like we've talked about, I know there's lots of debate on the cost of tokens, but code is cheap now in the sense that, give it a couple sentences and bang, it goes off and does its thing, right? So that's kind of in one sentence or two sentences, a very long article, kind of the notes that I wrote down from it. What do you think? Based on the title or my comments, what are you thinking?
So what's been bouncing around in my head lately is like the difference between code and software, right?
Okay.
And I think that's kind of like the distinction of where software engineering is going, or has been forever, is like so let's say you're writing a spec for a program, right? What's the best spec? And I'm sure you've heard this kind of like thought experiment many times on the internet and whatnot, but the best spec for any given program is the program, right? The code documents itself essentially, right?
Yeah.
So when you're using LLMs, what you're doing is you're defining the most important bits essentially, and then allowing it to fuzz over and pick generated results that line up with what you're defining in that spec, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm saying is it's like the code is very cheap. The decisions that you make and the trade-offs are can be more expensive, just because of like, if you have that much leverage over the code, like you can generate that much more code, you can generate that much more bad code, right?
Yeah.
So you really need to focus on those guardrails, the observability, your coding practices in an org, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm landing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great take. The other thing that I took away from the article is one more thing is like Opus 4.5 was kind of the tipping point, but the path to getting that tipping point was kind of well underway through 2025, as far as like the idea of agent loops. What were some of the other examples she gave in the article now? Loops. Oh, MCPs.
Like Ralph loops, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
MCP
like
servers.
those things were all kind of being developed through 2025. And then sort of the way I thought of it is the model actually caught up to those practices. And then you actually had a really powerful model that was able to take advantage of tools, MCPs, loops, and stuff like that. So sort of right in around when we restarted the podcast, right? Back in November of 2025 was kind of like everybody had that oh shit moment. Like this is actually
Perfect
real now.
timing, actually.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The tech has been around in kind of the more or less the same form, right? There's obviously been some improvements to the RL side of it, like fine tuning for specifically coding tasks or specific tasks. MOE models have gotten a lot better, right?
Yeah.
But like the tech has been around for 4 years now. It's almost like a maturing technology, right?
Yeah.
So we have those 4 years of data of people sending all of their code up to these servers to become training data essentially, right?
Yep.
And make better models. So
yeah. It's a good article. It's kind of one of those articles. We seem to have one of these really great engineering articles every week, and it's a beast. Like it's kind of a sit down with some quiet time and just read through it. But I would recommend it. It's a really good one. What else do I have? Oh, another really good one. AI generates larger pull requests, and with larger pull requests, you get more errors, I think was the gist of it. So this was all about the idea of AI isn't necessarily creating buggier code, right? It ships bigger PRs. There was a stat in the article, something like more than 50% or 2/3. So what's that? 66% of all new code is written by AI. And what they're finding is that it's not different than before, right? Bigger PRs were always buggier, whether
it's harder to review.
Yeah, whether an agent was creating it or a human, right? The bottleneck is something now that we've talked about a lot, is that it's not the code anymore, it's reviewing of those PRs to make sure they all make sense before you do something.
Yeah, it's like we've been talking about. You want like small atomic or small contained changes that you can verify or verify automatically and quickly, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you avoid this kind of huge bloat. It's hard though. It's hard to, like, the challenge with these systems is like, how do you design it such that, like, what I actually want when I'm generating code is I want the code that is kind of like the most efficient, small, readable version of it that does the features I need, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
But a lot of what people complain about with AI coding is that you'll get these huge sloppy functions, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I think how you fix that is these small PRs.
Yeah. Keep them all small, right? This is totally, well, it's not off topic, but I don't know why this popped into my head. I was thinking about, you were talking about like the amount of data there, right? Have you heard of Caveman?
Yes.
Were we talking about this at the summit?
I think we talked about Caveman. Okay. This is the skill, right?
Yeah, this is the skill that basically like makes your agents respond like in various levels of Caveman, right? Shorter and shorter and shorter. There's another new one out. It's called Ponytail.
Oh. Okay.
And it has a little avatar, and it's like, I think we both fall in this category now. The ponytailed glasses, ponytailed glasses IT guy who just basically doesn't say a lot but makes things work. So they're basicing saying it reduces even further the number of tokens that you get back on your output. And then I think somebody shared it in maybe a Discord group or something, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So I went and looked, and the little avatar that goes along in the Git project just made me laugh. I was like, oh man.
That's awesome.
You should have a look.
Mind this. Yeah. The logo is just like the Simpsons character, if you're wondering.
Yeah. Oh my God, so good.
Like the comic book store guy.
Yeah. The comic book store guy. You got it. All right. So let's change to a couple new open-weighted models. Where do you want to start?
Okay.
GLM or Kimi?
New model alerts.
Yeah.
Kimi 2K 2.7 is out. 2.7 code.
Yeah.
It's here.
Why don't we start with that? Tell us about it.
Okay, so new model from Kimi K. Looks pretty good. They're releasing a 6x high-speed mode. What's the performance look like? Pull up a chart here. It benches like about 10 to 12% better than 2.6, it looks like.
Yeah.
So, still more iterative improvements on performance.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. The other thing I wrote down just on Ponytail there, it also cuts the amount of tokens it uses during thinking by about a third, it said. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is on my list to try. I was pretty happy with 2.6. I would task it with a few things. Really good, right? I thought they were good. And with the, it's interesting. I know we don't have it in our list, but we were talking before the show about the changes to the pricing model for Copilot. And I wonder if these changes will sort of incentivize certain people to now start looking at these Chinese open-weighted models as a way to save on your costs. Because you know what? People aren't going to stop using it. At this point, people are used to using these tools. They don't want these tools to go away. So they're going to find alternatives to do it.
Well, they're just so dang useful, for so many different tasks. Like, they just eliminate so much drudgery. So it's hard to go think. We could go back to working without them, but we won't, right? Like, the GD's out of the bottle.
Yep.
And with the open weight models, what you can do is you can host them wherever, right? Like any cloud provider could host their version of these models. So if you're going through Bedrock, you might not even have to worry about data retention, right? I'm not sure what the policies are there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have to double check, but there's got to be providers out there that have data residency / compliance angles, right?
Yeah. And I would think, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you see these models come to Bedrock. Like, Bedrock has DeepSeek already, doesn't it? I don't know if it has
I think so.
GLM or Kimi. Let's see. I'm Googling this, supported models.
I think they have Kimi 2.6. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah.
But anyways, regardless, like, the capability is like it's comparable to the. It's not at the frontier models yet. It's like maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months behind, right?
Yeah.
Still plenty usable, you know.
Yep.
And there's a lot of them out there now that are getting close. Like KimiK 2.7 looks pretty good. GLM 5.2 also came out this week. Also looks really good.
Yeah. I used GLM 5.1 just a couple weeks ago in Pi through, I guess is it called Zen in OpenCode? Like that's how I got access to the model. So I just chucked some cash in there and burned through those credits, right? But it was I don't know if I talked about this. Like it was insanely fast. And I tried a different model first, maybe a little less costly one, not by a lot, but a little less costly. I can't remember what it was now. And I was kind of like, meh, yeah, it's okay. But then I tried GLM 5.1 and I was like, oh, okay, this is significantly better. So when you shared this link, I was like, ooh, this is good, right?
So for context, 5.2 is performing better than Gemini 3.1 Pro preview right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Gemini model, but...
Sure, but you would still consider that a frontier model, right? It's coming from one of the big... Well, would you consider a frontier model? I think I would.
I think you should still consider Google a frontier model producer, despite they've been lagging pretty much, it feels like, the whole time.
Yeah,
but but it's better than Sonnet, Sonnet 4.6. It's like noticeably better. It's a big jump. It's like 5 points off on the artificial analysis intelligence index from GPT 5.5 X high.
Yeah.
And 4.8. So, that's perfectly cromulent to me. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that I took away from both these, the Kimi one that you shared and GLM, is that we've got two examples of open-weighted Chinese models that are very close to sort of North American frontier models at like a fraction of the cost. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
and I think GLM 5.2 has an MIT license, so you don't even have to go through any licensing hurdles to use it.
Okay,
you could just use it.
Just use it,
which is kind of wild.
Yeah, definitely should be on everybody's to-do list at some, just to poke at it. I'm sure there's a playground somewhere that you could try it out too, right? You don't have to wire them all
guaranteed.
up and do something. Yeah, and then I was trying to very quickly. Google failed me, and I kept getting dumped onto the model support by AWS region and Amazon Bedrock, and it's literally just a page, and I can't find... Oh, there we go. Okay, here, let's do this really quick. DeepSeek, Meta, Minimax, we've talked about. Oh, Moonshot, which is Kimi... Oh, Kimi 2.5.
That's Kimi, yeah.
Yeah, Kimi 2.5. Quen... Oh, that was the other model I tried. I tried Quen before GLM. And I don't know. I didn't, it wasn't like the others. Oh, here you go. So ZAI, GLM, it's way back. GLM 4.7 Flash, and 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to wait a while before they spin up the capacity on Bedrock, unfortunately.
Yeah. But you can run Grok now.
Great. Yeah. I'm sure everyone's lining up for Grok.
that to be honest, I shouldn't say I was surprised by that, because I think we've talked here multiple times. I think Amazon's play is we will have all the models. You come here, you trust our platform already. We have all the models that you want to run. Whether we believe you should be running them or not, they are here.
Yeah.
You can use them.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got left? Well, we talked about the securing your AI agents, another great article from Docker, and this kind of goes back to kind of what we've been talking about all the time, this idea of isolation beats the idea of providing permission to your prompts, right? Which we talked about, was it last week we talked about the fact that in that study that Anthropic did, 90% of users always say yes to the, are you sure you want me to do this? Yep. So isolate this versus giving permission to your prompts is the idea here. Micro VMs, scoping your tools. And this goes back to stuff we've talked about over and over, this idea of, well, just doing shit that wasn't expected. And you can just, isolation is always your friend to control blast radius. So another great article, I think, from Docker.
Yeah, it's like no matter how many classifiers you put in front of this thing, you can always jailbreak a classifier or a language model. And it's just an extra layer of jailbreaking you have to do to get at the actual model, right? So
yeah. And then the last one I've got on my list, I saved it till the end. SpaceX to acquire Cursor for $60 billion in stock.
Crazy. Yeah. SpaceX just IPO'd actually.
Yeah, they're flush with cash. Got a bunch of money in the bank.
It's worth approximately one Amazon right now. So
Jesus, yeah. I don't know. I think here that you now have an IDE that's worth more than most publicly traded software companies. Just an IDE.
Than most,
right? Yeah, right.
Honestly. So it's like, what are you actually buying with Cursor, right? Though you're buying all of that data, all that coding data, that IDE traffic data that you need to fine tune models to behave better in code environments.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what he does. I wonder what they do with the model support though, right? Because right now I've never used Cursor. I've always kind of, again, it goes back to what we talked about earlier on. I'm like, I kind of think I'm done with an IDE. Like I just like it's just like my CLI, man. Just give me a nice terminal. I'm good, right?
Good to go. I use GLM if I need to. But
yeah. It's funny. My brain is slowly forgetting my NeoVim shortcuts
bindings?
too. Yeah. I was on a call with somebody today, and I'm in my terminal. I'm like, what the hell is that key binding to split my screen like left to right? I'm like, oh my god, the muscle memory.
Gotta put the reps in.
I know, it's just leaving, man. So I wonder what they'll do with the models. Will it continue to be sort of model neutral in the sense that it supports all the big platforms, or is this going to be like you come here to use Grok? That wouldn't make sense to me, but you never know.
So here's the thing. I don't think it'll be Grok at all. I think that it'll be whatever next composer model that they're going to train on top of the Grok hardware stack, right?
Yeah.
They have, and I guess they probably have access to the Grok team now.
Yep.
And then that plus the Cursor team, so they'll train a new. But probably this is like one of the only ways you were going to get a new frontier model shop. Was this? Someone had to buy Cursor.
Yeah.
And actually I did it, so we'll see like Composer 3, and that'll be like a new tier of frontier models, and then they'll have all the other ones available, I'm sure. But Composer will be there at reduced prices.
Yeah. Didn't they just rent all of their GPUs?
They did just
Anthropic. So where are they going to get all the horsepower to do all this work now? I don't have any more.
It's a good question. I'm sure. I'm sure they got some in reserve somewhere.
Yeah.
Or
you'd like to think, right?
Off time.
Yeah. So next up is SpaceX to acquire Tesla. With all the cash.
Is that happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, that is the show. That is episode 50. Woohoo! We need a little emote for that too.
We do.
Do you have? I have one thing that I put in off the record section that I sometimes include or not. I'm an old guy. There is an article that Commodore is back. Remember Commodore 64?
The computer company?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
I missed this one.
We're definitely showing the differences in our age. You can see you thinking about what's Commodore, and I'm like, oh, the best computer ever, man. It's like I had a tape drive with that bad boy. It was so good. They are making a flip phone.
No way.
Yes. $499. I'm sure that's US. You get a flip phone with a 24 megapixel camera in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sort of my take on it is the only people that will buy it are people like me because it's got the Commodore logo right on the front of it. So a little nostalgia in your phone, in your pocket. If you grew up like I did, that was my first computer, was a Commodore 64 with a tape drive.
That's hilarious. It's got the clear plastic shell too.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so
I know.
is this for?
I
This is like a dumb phone
yeah, it's a dumb phone,
for
right?
people who grew up with the start of personal computing. That's cool.
Yeah, and you can
I kind of want one. I don't.
Yeah, I want one. It's a what is it? Is it salt sailfish? Some sort of like that's
okay.
the phone
Yep.
manufacturer. I think it runs Android on it. You can upgrade if you would like. It's got T9 texting. Like remember that old thing where you press the button 3 times to get the right letter. And you can get the Founders
Selfish
Edition,
shoes.
which has a gold Commodore logo on the front for more cash.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Sweet. Sailfish is like Linux for phones, I think. So that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. Pretty neat, right? So there you go. Do you have any recommendations to finish us off for the week?
Recommendations. Did I say the Backrooms was good? Because it was pretty good.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
Week,
yeah, last week. Yeah. Anything new?
What's new? I gotta recommend doing 50 episodes of a podcast. It's a great way to keep up to date on whatever you're doing a podcast.
Whatever you're doing, yeah. Doesn't matter how many listeners you get, just do the reps.
Doesn't matter, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't even look at the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, we will subject our poor listeners to an ad. It's my goal.
Yep, it could happen. Could happen anytime.
The first ad will be for the Commodore 64 flip phone.
It should be. It really should be.
Yeah, it should be. We'll just make our own freaking ad for that phone. My recommendation is The Burrows on Netflix.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. I described it as old person's version of, oh man, my brain has stopped. What's the other Netflix show? Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's worth it. It's only about 8 episodes. We both enjoyed it. It was really good. Really good.
Nice.
You can binge watch it in a weekend because Netflix is still not like your cable company where you have to wait every week. You just sit down and watch it. So there you go. That's my recommendation.
You would think so, but I feel like there's a lot of shows recently I've had to wait for episodes to come out for. But
even on Netflix?
Anyway. Maybe not on Netflix, but definitely on like Disney Plus or
they're brutal.
Other streaming services.
They're brutal. Yeah, we've just reinvented cable.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. You just gotta have the ability to mercilessly cancel them and then wait until your favorite show comes out. All 8 or 9 episodes. You sub for the month. You power watch it, and then you cancel again.
Opportunistic cable subscriptions. Basically.
That's the beauty of not having to like have a contract, right? Like I'm just gonna go. I don't do this myself. I don't take my own advice because I just in the back of my head I'm like, what a pain in the ass. But I think at some point that's probably what I'm gonna start doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, there you go, folks. Episode 50 in the books. We'll see everybody next week for episode 51. And we'll leave with our fantastic outro song.
There it goes.
Bye for now.
That was an episode.
An episode.
Software used to cost $1 million.